Morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a nice Monday morning. Some of my supers not coming on there. There we go. Hope everyone's having a nice Monday morning. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Hope everyone likely spent yesterday inside. It was pretty brutal out, very hot, very humid, and unfortunately that's going to continue to be the story as we look at the forecast as we head into the remainder of your Monday and really over the next couple days. Not going to be quite as hot Tuesday and Wednesday, but still going to be looking at above average temperatures and pretty warm conditions across the area. So go ahead and jump in here. Again, look at the forecast. Again, starting off with a look at yesterday's high temperatures because, again, they were warm, and actually here in Lincoln we had the state high temperature reaching 104 degrees. You actually have to go back to August of last year to find a temperature hotter than that. Here in Lincoln we got to 105. I believe it was August 23rd of 2023. Not a record, though, in Lincoln. 104 is actually the second hottest temperature we've ever recorded on that date, the first being 105, and that was back in 1936, again back in the Dust Bowl days. But again, very hot out there yesterday. Again, we had heat index values up around 110 degrees, very humid. So again, overall, not a really great finish to the weekend. Again, hopefully folks were able to spend some time inside in the air conditioning and out of that heat. But like I mentioned, that's the hottest day we've had so far this year. Fifth day so far this year in Lincoln that we've seen the thermometer top 100 degrees. So again, awfully warm out there. And again, we're expecting to be pretty close to that number again for the day today. So we have heat advisories that are in place out for basically the eastern half of the state. These run through 8 p.m. tonight. Again, could see those heat index values up to around 109, maybe 110 degrees. Again, don't have excessive heat warnings. So again, those high-end, top-end heat index values aren't expected to be quite as high as yesterday, but again, we're really splitting hairs here when we're talking about it feels like 109 or it feels like 111. Either way, it's going to be pretty disgusting outside, and again, you want to make sure you take care of yourself if you're going to be spending any amount of time outside today. So again, here's the high temperatures for today. Again, we're going to say 102 in Lincoln, 102 in Beatrice, 101 for Hebron and Falls City, 100 in Omaha, 99 in Nebraska City. So again, awfully hot. There is going to be a weak frontal boundary that's kind of sliding through the area. So again, temperatures just a skosh cooler as you head back to the west. Upper 90s for Grand Island, Hastings, mid 90s in Kearney as well as North Platte, and then mid to upper 80s as you head across the western sections of the state. But again, you factor in the dew points, which will again be on the high side. Feels like temperatures ranging from around 100 to about 109 by 4 o'clock this afternoon for most of eastern Nebraska. So again, this is hot enough and this is just thick enough that you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself, taking care of, again, any vulnerable people, whether that's young children, older adults, pets, anything like that in heat like this. So again, just some tips. Again, it's the end of the summer, but, always good reminders. Make sure you're dressing properly, lightweight, loose-fitting, light-colored clothing is best. Make sure you're hydrating. Even if you're not thirsty, you need to be drinking plenty of water. Eating light, again, avoiding the fast food, avoiding the salty foods, and just slowing down. Again, if you're taking the dog for the walk, don't do it in the heat of the day. Do it early in the day or, again, late in the day when it's not quite as hot outside. And, again, as always, never leave any children, pets in locked vehicles for any amount of time. Again, this is something that unfortunately we have to say and remind everyone every year. There was just an incident recently, I think out in central Nebraska, where someone left a small child in a locked vehicle. And again, locked vehicles on days as hot as it's going to be today, they basically become death traps, again, because temperatures inside those vehicles can heat up so quickly, and again, basically cause heat stroke and all sorts of other problems. So again, dangerous heat again today. It tops our weather headlines. Again, cooler but still quite hot, still humid as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we'll see temperatures maybe a little bit closer to normal by the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. We'll also keep an eye on the chance for some scattered rain chances as we head over the course of the next week. There will be a chance today, probably our better chance maybe tomorrow in Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska, but we will keep our eye on the potential also for some severe weather across parts of the state today as well. Right now, clear skies in Lincoln just a few minutes past 9 o'clock. It's already 83 at the airport. I just want to check 1 minute just to see here, because it's been a day or two since I've looked, but our average high temperature for today's date, August 26th, is 86. So 86 is our normal high for the day. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 83. Thankfully, dew points are a little bit lower. We've had some drier air kind of filter in, so we had dew points in the 70s this weekend. Dew points right now checking in the mid-60s, which, again, is still humid, but not quite as bad as it was this weekend, but already very warm to start the day. Temperatures statewide cooler in the west, where temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s, mix of 70s and low 80s across central Nebraska, and generally upper 70s to low 80s across the eastern sections of the state. Dew points running the range from the mid 60s to the lower to middle 70s across much of the 10-11 coverage area, down a little bit lower than that into the 50s across the far west. Albion, Norfolk right now, Columbus have dew points in the low 70s, so again pretty thick up there in the northeastern corner of the state. Not quite as humid for other areas, but again, still humid enough, especially when you have temperatures as high as they are. So again, you look at the dew point trend, you can see it was very high this weekend, again, up and bordering into that tropical area Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, a little bit lower on Sunday, and it'll stay fairly high as we head over the next several days. Good news is, though, if you look at that yellow line, that's the forecast, the dew point forecast trend, and again, late this week, it looks like we're going to have some drier air push into the region again, so Friday and into Saturday, looking at maybe more comfortable conditions when it comes to our humidity, which, again, is good news. Again, obviously, we have the Husker season opener in Lincoln this weekend on Saturday, and right now it looks like it could be warm. Dew points do look like they should be fairly comfortable, so that is some good news there. As far as winds, again, they're variable in their direction. Again, a little weak surface boundary across the area, so some westerly, northwesterly winds, so it kind of just depends on where you are, but they are fairly light at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Satellite and radar picture, again, looks like this. Again, we can see across the eastern sections of the state, things right now are fairly quiet. In fact, I'm going to just punch over here. This is the visible satellite imagery. You can see those clear skies across the eastern sections of the state, a little bit more thicker cloud cover as you head across central and western sections of the state, and there are a couple spotty showers that are currently on the board. We'll keep an eye on the potential for some thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening, and we'll also keep an eye on the potential for some severe weather later this evening as well. Zoom out, look at a regional view. Again, kind of has some of that scattered activity, showers, and a few isolated thunderstorms across parts of Nebraska, then into the Dakotas. Also some scattered showers across the high plains and into the Rockies, across parts of Colorado and Wyoming. You zoom out and look at a national view. Otherwise, outside of that sort of scattered activity that we're seeing across the middle parts of the country, again, you have some offshore showers and thunderstorms down in the Gulf and then along the eastern seaboard, but otherwise, things are fairly quiet across the country. Weather alerts, again, most of the activity, most of, again, the headlines, again, revolve around the heat. Again, I already showed you our heat advisories across the eastern sections of the state that run through 8 o'clock. Also have some excessive heat warnings that stretch from parts of northwest Iowa through parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, down towards the Chicago area. Also have those excessive heat watches, again, for parts of eastern Illinois as well as northern Indiana. So, again, the heat is the main issue across the country today, especially for that middle part of the country. If we look at Skycast, so again, as we head through the morning, some of that scattered shower and thunderstorm activity will continue to kind of drift through the area, but really nothing too serious expected with that. As we head through the afternoon, looking at mostly sunny skies for the eastern half of the state, a little bit more cloud cover as you head further to the west. But then as we head late afternoon, early evening, we're going to keep an eye on a couple areas for some shower and thunderstorm development. One is going to be kind of across western South Dakota. The other is going to be kind of across central into southwestern sections of the state for some scattered thunderstorms to develop. Strong to severe storms going to be possible in these areas. Probably the best chance for severe thunderstorms will be across extreme northern Nebraska into South Dakota, southern Minnesota, where we see that line of thunderstorms kind of develop, and it's going to be along that line we think we're going to see the highest potential for more widespread severe thunderstorm activity. Again, for Lincoln and eastern Nebraska, there's an outside chance we could see an isolated strong or severe storm, but I think for the most part, again, that activity is going to stay just out of our coverage area. As we head overnight tonight, that line of thunderstorms will kind of sweep across parts of South Dakota into southern Minnesota, and then that weak frontal boundary kind of just settles across the area as we head into the day on Tuesday. So again, along that boundary, We're going to watch for some additional showers and thunderstorms to develop as we head towards Tuesday, late afternoon into the evening. I think that for Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska could be our best chance to see some scattered thunderstorms and see at least a little bit of rain as we head over the short term, over the next 2 or 3 or 4 days or so. Is that chance there? I think Tuesday evening into Tuesday night. Then as we head through the overnight hours, that activity skirts off to the east into the day on Wednesday. Things look like they should be fairly quiet. Again, there could be an isolated hit or miss shower or isolated rumble of thunder across the area, but most areas look like they're going to be dry and really look like they're going to be mostly sunny as we head through the day on your Wednesday. Severe weather outlook, again, there's actually an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms across parts of South Dakota and Minnesota as well as western Wisconsin. Again, enhanced is 3 out of 5 on the scale there of severity, meaning numerous severe thunderstorms are going to be possible in those areas shaded in orange. Have that slight risk shaded in yellow across parts of Nebraska, eastern Wyoming, South Dakota, all the way through Wisconsin, all the way into parts of Michigan. Again, scattered severe thunderstorms possible in those areas. And then that marginal risk in green kind of just covering most of the northern plains and into the Great Lakes region. So again, where an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm can't be ruled out. Hail and wind are going to be your main threats, and of those two, probably wind would be the main threat in the area. An enhanced risk. Can't rule out maybe an isolated tornado or two, especially along that leading edge of that cluster of thunderstorms that looks to potentially develop this evening. But again, for Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska, most of the activity is going to think either be well to our west or well off to our north as we head through Monday evening and into Monday night. Into Tuesday, again, there is a marginal risk that then shifts down across parts of the southeastern corner of the state. So again, 1 or 2 strong storms can't be ruled out, especially between about 5 and 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Again, hail and wind would be your main threats with some of those storms if they do get a little bit stronger. And then into the day on Wednesday, there is a marginal and slight risk that cover parts of the Dakotas that just kind of touches in the north central sections of the state. Most of the state, though, again, should be dry as we head through the day on your Wednesday. Look at the 7-day precipitation potential. Again, highest rainfall amounts as we head over the course of the next week look to be across parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Here at home across Nebraska, again, with some of that scattered activity we're expecting over the course of the next 7 days, we're looking at anywhere from around 1/4 to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain being possible. Again, 3/4 of an inch is on the high end, and again, maybe a little bit generous. Those areas that maybe do see a scattered thunderstorm, though, could pick up a couple maybe half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of rainfall pretty quickly. But again, I think that would be pretty isolated. Again, more widespread, generally probably looking at around 1/4 to maybe half an inch of moisture as we head over the course of the next week. And this takes us from August 26th into just the first few days of September. High temperatures today, again, already showed you these, but again, we're seeing again, because it will be, again, dangerous heat expected today into the triple digits across the southeastern corner of the state. Otherwise, most of 10-11 coverage area seeing highs in the upper 80s to the upper 90s, a little bit cooler across the panhandle. Low temperatures tonight, anywhere from the low 50s in the far west to the low 70s in the southeast, right around 70 for Lincoln as well as Beatrice, 68 in Grand Island, 62 in North Platte. Temperatures do cool back a smidge on Tuesday, but still above average for us here in Lincoln. High still in the lower 90s across the southeastern corner of the state. We're looking at a little bit more seasonal temperatures for the rest of the state. Tuesday afternoon behind that frontal boundary, generally in the 80s to near 90 degrees. Morning lows Wednesday, again, still a few degrees above average, upper 50s to upper 60s. And then Wednesday afternoon, it stays hot. Temperatures generally sitting in the lower to middle 90s across much of the state. So again, while it's going to be a little bit cooler Tuesday and Wednesday, it's still going to be plenty hot. It's still going to be plenty humid. Likely could see those heat index temperatures around 100 degrees for both Tuesday and Wednesday. So not quite as hot as it will be today. Again, we could see those heat index values approaching 110 degrees. But again, still plenty hot, still plenty humid. Temperatures then into the upper 80s on Thursday. 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms here in the capital city. Middle 80s on Friday, mostly sunny, dry. And then upper 80s on Saturday. Again, Nebraska hosting UTEP in Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, 2:30 kickoff. Temperatures will be warm. Again, it's always warm, especially inside the stadium. You get 90,000 people in there. But again, it does look like those dew points and the humidity maybe not quite as bad, a little bit more comfortable in that regard. But again, does look like upper 80s, mainly dry, mostly sunny for that. And then Sunday is the start of meteorological fall, the beginning of September. And right now doesn't look too bad. Temperatures a little bit cooler into the lower 80s. Small chance for maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but overall a pretty comfortable start to the meteorological fall season. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state. Again, you can see today the hottest day over the next week to 10 days, but it does stay warm Tuesday, especially then on Wednesday, with temperatures back into the 90s, and then kind of a mix of 70s and 80s Thursday, Friday, and then into the upper 80s Saturday, but then 70s and 80s Sunday, Monday, before again low 80s to low 90s are expected by next Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook looks like this. This is September 2nd through September 8th, and we have better than average odds of seeing below average temperatures through this time frame, which can our average highs by early September generally sitting in the lower to middle 80s across the state. So that's something to look forward to, just a little bit cooler. Again, kind of beating the heat that we've seen over the past couple days. Precipitation outlook, again, has better than average odds of seeing below average precip for the far eastern sections of the state, above average precip for far western and southwestern sections of the state. So kind of a lot going on there, but again, your main takeaways: very hot, very humid, dangerous heat out there again today. Again, make sure you're taking breaks inside to try and get out of that heat. Not quite as hot Tuesday or Wednesday, but still very warm, still very humid. So again, still going to be feeling pretty uncomfortable outside. And then again, we'll keep an eye on those chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms over the course of the next week. No one day looks like it has a great chance. Again, today is probably the best chance for more widespread severe weather, but it's going to be just to our north. I think parts of northeastern Nebraska probably have the highest chance to maybe see some of those severe thunderstorms potentially impact the area late tonight into the overnight hours. So again, as always, we'll keep an eye on all of it. We'll keep you updated. And so again, make sure you just keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all those latest forecast details. So that's it for me today. Appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. As always, again, just a reminder, right now we're live streaming on 1011's platforms on 1011now.com, as well as on our streaming apps. Again, our Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Try and do this daily forecast update right around 9 o'clock Monday through Thursday. So again, if you can, mark your calendar, and as you can, tune in. We appreciate it. If you're on the YouTube channel, again, like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Give you all the updates that you need to know from the news department, sports department, and of course from us in the weather department as well. So that's all from me. Appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. And like I just said just a second ago, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports.